Our next guest is Dr. Hesam Hassan Nejad. He is a distinguished professional with a diverse background. Dr. Hesam Hassan Nejad is an immigration consultant, engineer, and entrepreneur dedicated to helping individuals and families navigate the complexities of the Canadian immigration system. As the founder and regulated Canadian immigration consultant at Hesam Immigration Services, Inc., he brings a wealth of knowledge and experiences to his practice right here in Kingston, Ontario. Dr. Nejad holds a PhD in engineering and applied sciences from Memorial University in Newfoundland, where his leadership and academic excellence earned him the prestigious accolades, including Graduate Student Leader of the Year. Expanding his experiences, he later pursued an immigration consultant diploma from Hesam Career College in Toronto before establishing his own firm. Beyond his immigration work, Dr. Nejad is a passionate educator. He has spent over 7 years teaching on topics such as ethics, professionalism, diversity and inclusion in law, engineering, and manufacturing. He was selected as one of the top 40 under 40 by the Kingston Economic Development Corporation. He was nominated for the Customer Experience Award in the 2024 KBAs. He's a leader whose dedication to education, immigration, and professional excellence continues to make a lasting impact. Please help us welcome to the chamber Dr. Hesam Hassan Nejad. Dr. Nejad, thank you very much for coming on. How are you today, sir?
Good. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the introduction.
Awesome. Let me start off with, you have an impressive background, not only as an immigration consultant, but also as an educator and entrepreneur. How do these different aspects of your experience influence the way you serve your clients?
Well, whether being a professor, I'm an adjunct professor at Queen's University teaching students, or dealing with different clients with various backgrounds, I noticed that clear communication and being open to their feedback are key in customer service, in excellence in customer service. So whether you're dealing with a student, being open to their feedback, how you are conveying the message to them, how they're on the receiving side of it, or whether you're working with people who are interested to immigrate to Canada, or international students who are in need of immigration advice. Being open to the feedback that they get after you provide the services to them. That is how I learn from the other side of the table, and I do a self-reflection, see how I can improve the customer service provided to the whether they're students or their clients, and that is how I've done it throughout my career, and that is how I have improved over and over again the customer service that we provide to the people.
That is not an easy thing to do, whether being accepting feedback on something creative that you have done, or accepting feedback from your boss, accepting feedback maybe from a parent. Is there a trick to approaching accepting feedback? And I say trick, it's the wrong word, but how do you do it? How should you approach accepting feedback when most of us, okay, maybe I'll talk about myself, I get a little defensive and oh, it's like an attack on me. So what would you suggest? What is your advice?
Exactly. Act like it's not an attack on you. Keep an open mind. That's the key here. Keep an open mind, because people who provide feedback to you, it's not, they're not looking down on you, or they're not just criticizing you. Use that, keep an open mind and use that as an opportunity to improve, to do a self-reflection. So the key here is to don't think that's an attack on you, or don't take it personally. Use that as an opportunity for growth. Whether it's, I'm glad you mentioned parents, parents always want the best for their kids, right? So whether it's personal growth, or you're dealing with students, you're dealing with clients, or other businesses, depending if you do a B2B service. Keep an open mind and make sure that to use that feedback as an opportunity. Don't take it personally. Whether it's a personal life or the professional life, don't take it personally. See what they are saying to you. See what the weaknesses are. Is it the way you communicate to people? Is it the information you're providing to them, reliability of the information, accuracy of the information, or the way you communicate to them? See what area needs improvement, go to the root cause, fix that, and that's how you can improve. So that's all I can say about it.
Deep breaths.
Yeah.
Let your thoughts come like a conveyor belt. Always check the facts. Observe without judgment. Those are some of my models.
Exactly.
But let me ask you, so we were talking with Megan, I was talking about the team mentality, and I think you kind of bring it to a question where I would say, like, so accepting maybe criticism, right?
Yes.
And it's a difficult thing to do. What would you suggest to somebody in terms of who is finding themselves down, dejected by the criticism that came at them? So perhaps they were thinking that I nailed that. Perhaps they were thinking that I didn't see that coming.
Right.
What would you suggest?
Be resilient. So, and that's
Like,
nobody is perfect, right?
Right.
So I didn't just get the excellence in customer service in overnight, right? It's a lifelong journey. Don't be down because you received maybe sometimes harsh feedback from your supervisor, right? Or from, I'm also an adjunct professor at Queens. If a student writes a feedback to the dean of the program that this guy is terrible, the tutorial was awful, I need to think of it, again, I keep saying that, keep thinking of this as an opportunity for growth. Don't take it personally, don't let it affect you in a bad way.
Okay.
Don't be down because somebody doesn't like you or somebody gave you harsh feedback. You are going to improve gradually. It's not coming to you overnight. Nobody is perfect, and nobody is going to be perfect or less imperfect overnight. It's a lifelong journey. So be open-minded, and yeah, just think of this as a long journey, not an overnight journey. And that's how you can get the feedback. Again, try to analyze the feedback that you're receiving. Even if it's a harsh feedback from your supervisor, try to think what you did wrong. Was it your commitment to the work? Was it the way that you communicated? What was the root cause for that harsh feedback, right?
Right.
And that's how you can gradually improve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like to equate that to like a goalie. You watch a goalie who gets lit up in the NHL, and like maybe like 5-0 sort of thing, and like how do you let that roll off your back and then come back the next day and be reformed? Because they seem to be able to do that. I think we all got to do the same thing as well, right? But I also agree with you in the sense that check the facts, right? So what are they saying? Is it a personal attack? Is it constructive criticism? Do you have when you approach this, do you have a set of questions that you come to the table with? Like, okay, how do I find out how I should proceed next? Is there a set of questions that you typically have in this, or no?
Well, a set of questions would be the main question, the basic question would be, is this a personal attack or constructive feedback? And I can tell you, at least in my experience, 99% of the feedback that we receive from people is constructive feedback. Again, of course, there are some people who are going to attack you personally, depending on different factors, which is certainly beyond the scope of this session. But the overwhelming majority of the feedback is professional feedback. So the question that I ask is usually from myself, right? Saying that what resulted in this criticism, right? And what can I do to fix this? If I receive a 1-star on Google profile that says, this guy is terrible, the information that he gave me was awful, I need to see, again, going back to whether the information was wrong, fully given to that person, was the impression, was there a misunderstanding, was there miscommunication, and try to fix that. If you keep fixing it and don't being disappointed with one major bad feedback, then you can improve. So the question is coming to you yourself, the person who received the feedback. What did I do wrong, or what went wrong? And that's how you can certainly improve.
Very nice. Do you want to take a second here to talk about who you are and what you do? I know I gave a bit of an introduction, but you can do it better than I can. And maybe talk about a little bit of what you're doing right now as well.
Sure. I don't think I I'm not sure if I can do a better job than what you did, but
Oh, yes, you can.
I'm the owner of Hesam Immigration Services, an immigration consulting company in Kingston, Ontario, and we provide services in all areas of immigration and citizenship field, except protected refugee and protected person. The main focus of our business has been on helping international students obtaining their permanent residency in Canada, helping Canadians, Canadian citizens and permanent residents bring their spouses here, and also bringing investors to Canada. The overwhelming majority of our clients are from overseas. I would say tens of them are now in Canada, living in Canada, and regarding Kingston itself, the majority of the work that I've done, besides helping, of course, international students at Queen's, is bringing the spouses of Canadian citizens here from United States, from Iran, from Belarus, from Japan, and that's really exciting and from Egypt, actually. That's really exciting to do, and I'm really glad that people were happy with the services that we provided, and we received up to, I think right now it's 131 5 stars on Google Business, which is really exciting and a stamp of approval for our business.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Can we talk about what's happening south of the border?
Absolutely.
And is it having, what impact it's having on your business at this time, or from your client's perspective?
Absolutely. Well, honestly, it doesn't have a direct impact on our business because my clients are mostly from outside Canada and outside United States. I do have clients from United States who are coming here because their spouses are here, but these chaotic policies of Donald J. Trump doesn't affect them that much. But I can also speak about the immigration industry in general, because this chaos in the United States if continues this way, it is going to affect the border. It is going to bring people to our border from the United States, coming here as refugees, as protected person, many vulnerable individuals who may come, and that is a concern to me because we don't know how prepared the system is to dealing with maybe tens of thousands of people coming to the southern border, and how that will affect the processing time for people who are in the system trying to figure out how they can obtain legal status. So that's a big concern, and unfortunately, I'm not very optimistic on that. I hope we can hear something from the government that they are planning ahead on that impact, but that's a general impact on the immigration industry.
What's your experience with working with that in terms of a timeline? My experience is that the government, generally speaking, doesn't move very quickly on most things. Do you see what's happening south of the border as maybe speeding things up, or will it just compound the process and the speed to which it currently drags its tail?
Right.
Can you speak to that?
Well, what I see, the appearance of things is that, yes, they're trying to get everything together. Like right before this session, I was listening to ministers talking to press about the retaliatory tariffs and how they're going to go tomorrow and talk to the Secretary of Commerce in the United States. But so it seems that it has accelerated things, which is much needed here, inter-province trade and so on. But again, that's beyond the business that I am in. So it seems like that, and that's desperately needed. So maybe this chaos down the border would let us think twice about the relationship and also about the way that we do business here. So that may be a much needed pressure to the government to facilitate a bunch of things and figure out what they're going to do to be less dependent on others. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you answering that question. Let me bring it back to the KBAs and wrap it up.
Sure.
So what's next for Hesam Integration Services? Are there any new projects, goals, or initiatives that you're excited about?
Absolutely. So I'm focusing more and more, besides the sponsorship cases that we bring spouses of people to Kingston, I am focusing more and more on the Startup Visa program. That's a program that you can bring innovative entrepreneurs from around the world. They need to get approval from incubators, like designated incubators by the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, also known as IRCC, or venture capitals.
Right.
So bringing those people in would be a win for our business, because that's a major revenue generating stream
And
for
country as a
immigration
whole.
consultant. Yes, exactly. And they need to bring certain amount of money in here, right? So we're bringing innovative entrepreneurs here who are wealthy, who are going to invest in that startup, who are going to create jobs, much needed jobs right now, talking about all that uncertainty with tariffs and so on, and also beneficial for our own business. So that is exciting, and that is something that I want to focus with personal immigration within the next 12 months.
Wonderful. So last question. The Kingston Business Awards celebrates excellence in our local business community. What would you say to those who are nominated for this year? Any words of encouragement for finalists hoping to take home an award?
Well, first of all, congratulations. That's a big thing, being even nominated. Whether you're nominated or you're going to win, it's a win. Just being nominated itself is a win. Take advantage of this as much as you can. This is a stamp of approval. I used it as a stamp of approval to show the trust in our business, to show how much people are satisfied with our business, and certainly take it as a win. Know your hard work is basically basically bear fruit. People acknowledge it, people appreciate your hard work, and use it in your marketing materials, because this is a big deal.
Dr. Nejad, thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.